Let's get it. Well, y'all, let me say this. I'm excited. You ready?
For what?
Well,
What are we doing?
We'll figure it out.
Wow. So whenever we get the band back together, guys, y'all have to understand that nobody knows what's going on, really.
I always know.
She has her iPad.
I have my notes.
She always knows she's going to keep us straight.
She's the ringleader.
She is the ringleader, that is for sure. So speaking of rings, the ring of fire in Panama has been hot. And not only heat-wise, but also the rental market. And it's been heating up, guys. And so we're going to get into some things. We're going to help you guys understand what this rental market is doing, what the truth is about it. And we're going to be back with the family on Behind Closed Doors with the Brooks sisters and Matt.
Hey guys, so welcome back to another episode of Behind Closed Doors with the Brookses, and today we're going to be talking about the truth about renting in Panama, prices, pitfalls, and marketing changes. But before we get into today's episode, last week and the week before we were talking about luxury living in Panama, and we are actually in a luxury unit today where we're filming. Now this unit is not for rent, it's for sale, but Matt, tell them a little bit about the area that we're in and a little bit about this unit that's for sale.
Yeah, thank you for asking. We're in La Cresta, which is not an area that you hear a lot about. This is an old school Panamanian neighborhood where a lot of the ambassadors, the American ambassadors right downstairs, just international diplomats live in this neighborhood, influential Panamanian families. We're high up on a hill overlooking the rest of Panama City. So it's right next to the northern corridor where we can see the entire skyline of the city, plus all the waterfront.
Yeah, the views are amazing here. So this unit is, what's the size and how many?
Yeah, y'all got to get ready for this.
This place is humongous.
It's huge.
Like you say, I've never been in a place here in Panama this large.
Yeah. Not an apartment, I don't think.
Yeah,
I think this is the biggest one.
So it's an older building, and like I said, La Cresta, older neighborhood. Everything here tends to be a little older than what we see like in Punta Pacifica, El Cangrejo. This unit is only 4,000 square meters.
Only
4,000 square feet.
Only 4,000 square feet. And this is a condo.
Yeah.
This is not a single family home.
So let me give you guys a little bit of perspective. Typically speaking, when a lot of expats come here, one of the things that's sort of off-putting a little bit about, buildings and sizes, it is the square footage. And obviously here in Panama, typically the older the units are, the bigger they are. And there are trade-offs, and we're going to talk a little bit about that as we go on, but keep in mind to set your expectations. When you come to Panama and you get larger facilities, larger units, it's going to be an older building. But old doesn't mean not good.
No.
Old in this case is very classy. It's very character driven.
Right. So a unit like this will be perfect for my fellow expats or future expats that are coming here from their 4,000 square foot house that don't want to get rid of all of their stuff. It is possible to find a place that you can fit all your stuff in. And so this unit is 4,000 square feet. It's 4
bedrooms, 5.5 bathrooms, and it's the entire floor. You do not share the floor with any kind of neighbors. The elevator goes right up into your private lobby.
So here's what's funny. We came in and we came up the elevator. When we got off the elevator, I'm thinking to myself, where's the door? No, you're in the unit, brother. So would this be considered the penthouse at this point?
No, there's 2 floors above us.
Wow.
But what they would say in local real estate is this is like the penthouse style. So you have the entire floor, and we haven't even touched on the price yet.
Wow. Yeah. So let's talk about that a little bit, Matt, because a lot of people are wondering, you're selling homes where you are and you're moving abroad and you're trying to figure out after you've cashed out, can you move those funds into a place that makes sense for you financially?
So before we get in price, I want to make sure that they understand what's included in this place. So we talked about the size, but these are like some of the bedrooms, just looking at the size of the owner suite and seeing how huge this is. The kitchen.
Unreal.
you can fit 2 or 3 kitchens in this thing.
Unreal.
Look at how huge
Unreal.
this kitchen is. And so now with all of this, all the space that you get, it's only the low price.
Only the low.
$550,000 is the current asking price for this condo.
Wait a minute. Say that again.
$550,000 is the current asking price for a 4,000 square foot condominium.
That overlooks, listen to me
views,
carefully,
views.
Panoramically speaking,
Yes, the views
the
are amazing.
entire downtown quadrant. You can see Casco Viejo from here. You can see the Avenida
Ancon Hill.
Balboa. You can
Ancon
see if
Hill.
it wasn't a cloudy day, you could. Ancon Hill is right here. I mean, this is crazy. Where in the
Unobstructed views.
360 degrees. I
Yes.
mean, looking out to the west, we see the sunset, and then we're going to see all of the Panama Canal.
Wow.
Looking out towards the east, you see all of Costa del Este, because La Cresta is a crest. It's higher up than every other point in the city.
So the building itself doesn't have to be super tall in order for you to get those super
It's
tall
because
views.
where it is.
It's physically because of the the actual landscape of the area, and you're on top of a hill. And
That's exactly right.
So if you're interested and want to learn more about this place, reach out to Matt. This place recently went on the market. It's been on the market, a few months?
Just 3 months I've had it
Just a few
listed.
months. So it's still available as of the time of this episode.
Yeah.
But if you're interested, reach out to Matt as soon as possible to see if you can get in and get a showing. It's going to move pretty quickly.
Yeah,
So you
absolutely.
want to make sure that you reach out, and there he can find you other properties like this.
Yeah.
Even if this one isn't available.
Before we get into today's topic, guys, I gotta say a huge shout out to Panama Talks. You guys may notice that we're in a bit of a different setup. I'll drop some behind the scene footage of the whole setup. I feel like I'm back in the States because I'm
We
you
got
know,
a crew filming us today.
the world that I come from, I'm used to the whole 3-4 camera setups and all the things. So shout out to those guys. We're going to link their information in the description below. If you are in Panama and you're looking for a mobile podcast kind of a situation, maybe you need people to come to you. Maybe you're out and about and you need someone coming to you. Maybe you need professional grade equipment, that kind of thing. You want to give these guys a call. They are professionals. They've been doing this a very long time. They know what they're doing, and we're super excited to have them shooting us today. It helped me not to bring all of our equipment. So I'm grateful. So let's get into today's topic.
All right. So today's topic, once again, is the truth about renting in Panama: prices, pitfalls, and market change. So Matt, we've been here a little over 2.5 years, and we've seen the market change from when we first moved here. But what are some key things that you could say that are the changes that are happening in the rental market here in Panama?
It hasn't slowed down. It certainly hasn't slowed down. Typically, for our local real estate market, July, August, and even the beginning of September are the doldrums. Like we're surviving on everything we did earlier in the year.
Yeah.
What I'll call is the Trump effect.
Right.
It has not slowed down at all. We still have a lot of renters coming down, gobbling up inventory as soon as it comes online.
Wow. And one of the things you got to understand, again, I want to help set the expectation. By the time you view this video, you may see things that you've researched that are no longer available. One of the things, and Matt, you can help us here, when you are serious about moving this way, how soon should people be looking to reach out to you to say, listen, I need you to get on it because we need to start moving. I'll say this caveat. When we came here, it was 5 months before we moved when we were seeing properties.
Right, the first
and we were
time.
really serious. That was too far out because we were not here. We were thinking about locking up a place 5 months before we came here. And there's problems with that we can get into later. But typically speaking, when people are looking to, when should they reach out to you, Matt?
As early as possible.
Okay.
I want everyone to reach out as early as possible because it's too important of a decision to just meet someone once.
Yep.
You want to have a chance for both sides to build that rapport, know that you're working with the right person.
Yep.
As much as my mom thinks, I'm not everyone's cup of tea, right? So that's okay. But I can put you in touch with other colleagues that maybe.
Yeah.
Right.
You want to start building up that rapport and then let them know what kind of property you're looking for.
Right.
So they can start putting that into a pipeline. And then as something comes online, hey, I know you're not coming for 3 months, but this might be something that you want to start thinking about. These are the types of properties that are available in this neighborhood.
Got it.
So as we've seen the market shift, let's talk about pricing shifting from, I know like when we originally came here 2.5 years ago, prices were at a certain range. And how has that changed, would you say, in the last 2 to 3 years, or how do you see the market changing as far as pricing for rentals?
I've seen prices going up. I have seen prices going up significantly. You know, let's talk about your neighborhood specifically in El Cangrejo. 3 years ago, the average condo was renting for between $1,000 and $1,250, $1,300 a month, and now they're in the $1,800 to $2,000 range.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when you guys are looking to do that, your budget often is what it is. And so oftentimes you'll look online in some of even our YouTube videos and you'll see a place, oh, I love that. I want that. How much is that? And we have to understand here, speed kills. Like you guys have got to really think about seriously how quickly you want to move and stuff like this.
Right. And every property is individually owned. So just because one unit went for one price, it's not like you're going to find one in that building that's going to necessarily go for the same price. So as we talk about increases, are there any particular areas that you would say that you've seen the biggest increases, or are there areas that are pretty much stable?
Sure. I would say Punta Pacifica and Costa del Este have seen the largest increases.
Okay.
The prices there used to be around $3,000, and now in Costa del Este you're renting for closer to $4,000.
Wow.
So that's a 25% increase.
Wow.
Santa Maria has not increased as much, but that's because it already started super high. Right. So there wasn't much room to move.
Sure.
Okay.
So when we talk about those areas, just remind what Matt's, Costa del Este, Santa Maria, those are areas that are high-end condos, high-end rentals, high-end purchasing, everything. But the amenities also match that. The environment, Santa Maria is built on a golf course. So you're going to get all that kind of vibes. But again, the point is that as soon as you know that this is someplace you want to be, start doing your research. Cherie and I are huge proponents of coming out, scouting out the land, take a trip. You're going to go on vacation at some point this year anyway, most often. Why not book a vacation to come to Panama? That's what we did. We were here 10 days and we scouted out places that we had researched online for 2.5 years because we were in the middle of the pandemic. So we couldn't go anywhere. But when we got here for vacation, we spent about 3 days doing nothing but putting our eyes on the places that we had researched online. It was a game changer.
Now, one of the big questions that I get often, people ask, what has the role of expats coming to Panama, how has that impacted the rental market as far as new developments, and how it's driving the demand? How has that affected the rental market?
I tend to look at it through my own lens, and most of the client base that I'm working with are expats.
Okay.
It's the number one driving factor easily, and it's not just American expats that are moving down here. We're getting a lot of Canadians coming down, a lot of Europeans, specifically out of Germany and Eastern Europe, are starting to move down to Panama as well, for one reason or the other. So that is the number one driving force.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, a lot of times when we're moving about, oftentimes, we're in areas, and Cherie and I live in an area that's more probably local centric than necessarily expat centric, but we did that on purpose. But I can promise you the locals are rumbling. It's like, Jesus, it's really tough. And this is another reason why I don't see, the way Panama is growing. Panama's borders are open and people are coming here for a myriad of reasons. Right. It is so much of a difference in its lifestyle, financially, the whole bit. So here's what I know: prices are not going to go backwards, and so you definitely need to connect.
So talking about pricing, when people look at renting a property, what are things that they can expect or not expect that are included in their rent typically? Like in the States, oftentimes, you aren't getting a furnished apartment, for one, in most cases. So what's some of the differences you would say with renting a property here in Panama, as far as what's included that our viewers should be aware of?
So if it's rented, furnished, or unfurnished, that's up to you. We can assist with both types of rental properties. What's always going to be included is the HOA fee. Everything else, your electricity, your water, your cable, your internet, that's going to be on the tenant. Right. The HOA fee will typically include the gas, and sometimes it includes the water. Right. If it doesn't, it's not a huge fee. It's about $12 to $15 a month. Yep. But it is something to keep in mind.
Got it. Guys, if we have not said to you before, if this is your first time watching us on the channel and you've not subscribe. Do us a huge favor. Hit the subscribe button. Certainly, if you are able and if you desire to support us, we certainly love to have you be a part of our Day One community, whether that's Day One Plus or just the Day One community, get you access to us. We recently had some friends. Matter of fact, we have some friends in town right now. I'm going to go play golf with some friends of mine tomorrow. And what's funny is that when people get here and they get boots on the ground, the conversation is always the same. We didn't know. we had no idea. And so when you decide to come this way, if you want someone to help kind of guide that, definitely click the description, the links in the description below. You'll find a taste and see consult available with Cherie, where she'll jump on a call and she'll give you sort of a tailored version, think concierge service of what you're trying to do, what you're trying to know. We're not relocation specialists, but we definitely want to make sure that your trip is fun, that it's easy, that you get a chance to do all that you need to do, meet the right people that you need to meet, and do all the things. So yeah, absolutely.
So to divert just a little bit, I want to really get into neighborhoods because when expats typically come here, they hear about, there are like 4 or 5 neighborhoods that everybody hears about, and they go to those neighborhoods. But there are other neighborhoods like here in La Cresta.
Why are you laughing?
Because everybody goes to the,
they all go to the same
everybody
neighborhood.
wants to go to the same place.
Right.
So what are some other neighborhoods that aren't commonly talked about that are great areas for expats to move into? And I'm this is partially selfish because I don't want everybody moving to my neighborhood.
Wow. She said our neighborhood is closed. That is
closed. It's closed. No, well, there aren't a lot of properties
Well,
available
not a
actually
lot.
in our neighborhood.
They're not.
But what are some other neighborhoods that are good neighborhoods? Like I had never been here to La Cresta and just riding through here. This is a beautiful neighborhood. And so what are some other neighborhoods?
Let's rattle off the top 4 neighborhoods, right? You know, so we're always going to hear about Avenida Balboa, Costa del Este, Santa Maria, Punta Pacifica. There are really great opportunities in neighborhoods like this, like Cresta, where the buildings tend to be a little older. Now, there are still some hidden gems in El Cangrejo as well in your neighborhood. You've got the newer buildings, but some of those older buildings can really have a really good value.
Absolutely.
You have to have a little bit of creativity to have the vision.
Yes.
But the great opportunity, the neighborhood I live in, Ancon, right at the base of Ancon Hill, you can find single-family homes in that neighborhood that rent for in the $2,000 range.
Wow.
And you're talking about a 3,000 square foot home on a nice piece of land.
Wow.
And just to give people perspective, Ancon is in proximity to what, Matt? Just so that people.
It's on the west side of the city. There's the big Cerro Ancon where the flag is.
Right.
So it's closest to like Clayton, Albrook, and the end of Avenida Balboa.
Got it.
So it's right on the edge of the city. So you're still in the city.
Yeah.
You don't have to cross a bridge. You don't have to do any of that to get to that area.
100%. Great way. One thing that now that we're talking about, you know, the city and all of the things, if you guys haven't signed up for our we call it the real estate information session, and Matt and his team, we're not ashamed to say that we're partnered with probably one of the greatest real estate companies that you're going to find in Panama. Let me tell you why. It's not because they're the biggest, it's not because they do the most business, it's not because they have necessarily, you know, the most people to serve you. What it is because I believe they have integrity that's different.
Yeah.
They care about people, and I love it. Their specialists are all bilingual. That's one of the things that's going to happen. So for expats that are coming, you're going to have a person who speaks the language, but they also speak your language. We do an information session every now and then. We don't necessarily put it out there to the public because we have this mounting wait list that just could like we're just open the wait list. It's like, okay, boom. If you have not joined that wait list, make sure you click the link in the description below. Join the wait list so that the next time, and we will tell you the next time is October the 9th, that we're going to do it. And if you guys want to be a part of that, definitely want to come have you.
I think it's important to sign up for that. Here we're going over a lot of general information.
Yeah.
Yep.
In that, we really dive into some of the deep stuff, but also it gives everyone an opportunity to ask their own question.
Yes.
Speaking of which, we purposely, and it's one of the reasons we don't open this up like to mass marketing in a sense, we want an intimate room. And so we want to be able to, in an hour's time, literally go through and answer very specific questions that you normally would have to book Matt's time for if you came here. And that might be a little tough depending on, you know, how far you live away from here, right? So this will be a way for you to definitely sit face to face. It's a Zoom call, it's a private meeting, but you can ask your questions and you can walk away feeling empowered because you got the information.
Okay, so let's get back to neighborhoods.
Absolutely.
So we talked about La Cresta is an area that people don't know. What's some other areas that people may not be aware of?
I mean, the neighborhood where I'm at, Ancon, is fantastic. Just think lush green landscapes. I walked out of my living room last night and there was a toucan flying by.
Oh, wow.
Right? You know, last week my neighbor had a deer in their front yard.
Wow.
And we're in the city. We're in the city, but my whole backyard is just lush green trees and little nyekes running around, and you wouldn't expect that in a major metropolitan city.
Yeah, no, I love it. I absolutely love it.
Another area that and why I just went brain dead.
She went brain dead. It's okay. This is where we put the graphic of.
No, where
we don't know.
El Carmen.
El Carmen is fantastic.
El
Can't believe I didn't think
Carmen
about that.
nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
And El Carmen is
Nestled in the middle of like everything.
Yes.
You got the single family homes. There's a few there, and
single family homes. You also have condos, new condos, old condos.
the park.
Right across the street from the park. It's also very close to El Cangrejo,
Yeah.
close to downtown, close to the metro station. So
Yes.
if you don't want a car,
Yeah.
public transportation is right there in El Carmen.
Also close to one of your favorite places, Price Smart.
Price Smart.
Yeah. So
That I have to limit my time going there.
for those that don't know, that is the Sam's Club, Costco kind of
Yes,
equivalent.
Panama.
And yeah, we
You
try
will
to
not
keep.
go in it by one thing.
We try to keep her out of there as much as possible. It doesn't work, but yeah.
I found out this week when my wife doesn't let me go there unsupervised.
Yeah.
All those Christmas decorations
Right.
filled
Listen,
up.
Right.
listen,
You end up with too much stuff
listen.
in your car.
If
Go
your
with
wife
one
don't
thing.
let you go unsupervised, put me in the chat. Put me in the chat if you guys definitely are feeling mad on this one.
So you touched on single family homes, and oftentimes I'll get people that'll ask, you know, where can they buy rent single family homes here in the city. What areas are best for looking for single family homes here in the city, and what is, I guess, the inventory of single family homes compared to condos?
If you're looking for something that's going to be familiar, you got to look in Costa del Este and you have to look in Santa Maria.
Okay.
I think larger luxury split level for single family homes, a nice yard, a pool in the backyard perhaps. But that's also going to come with a price tag. You're not going to find anything in that neighborhood for less than $4,500 a month
To rent.
to rent.
Okay.
Now, if you're looking for more of that Latin culture, you know, we're gonna look into my neighborhood, Ancon, where it's older American homes that were built in the 70s and 80s. You know, we're gonna look at areas like El Carmen, where it might just actually be like a duplex, where you have one shared wall, but you have your own private backyard. You still have all your privacy. And if we're really going to get into it, you know, Betania, middle-class Panamanian neighborhood. But again, it's not going to feel familiar. And that can be a turnoff for a lot of the folks that are moving here for the first time.
So when you say it's not going to feel familiar,
Let's expand that.
Explain, what do you mean by that?
So Panama, you've noticed driving around, everyone has that privacy wall.
Yeah.
It's not because you're in an unsafe neighborhood, but it's just part of the culture. It's going to be the privacy wall with the big metal gates. You know, I have one outside my house, and I live in one of the safest neighborhoods in the city.
Right.
It's just a matter of the culture. Whereas if you went to Costa del Este or to Santa Maria, it's going to be a gated community. No one has those privacy walls. It's going to feel like where I grew up, you know, where I knew where my neighbor, or I knew where the kids were playing because all the bikes were in the front yard.
Yeah, exactly. Panamanian culture is very, very, very different. It's a warm culture. Sheree and I always like to say we moved here not just because of the warmth of the climate, but because of the warmth of the people.
Yeah.
If we're going to touch on that real quick, we were always told in the U.S. is a melting pot.
Yes.
Panama is a melting pot.
For sure.
I mean, it's
Like
all different races, creeds,
international
everything.
real melting pot.
Yes.
Yeah, and you got all kinds of things coming and going. That's why, you know, sidebar, just because someone speaks Spanish doesn't mean they're Panamanian.
No.
So a lot of times people will get the impression that, if they had a bad experience, it's, well, Panamanians aren't nice. First of all, were
Were
they
they Panamanian, right?
And how do you know?
Right.
Did you ask? The point I'm making is that the culture is different, and when you expand your mind and you're willing to make the adjustments, it's a beautiful place to live.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. A lot of people come here and they're concerned that they don't know Spanish yet.
Yeah.
Just try. Say a few words in Spanish, and
Yep.
the Panamanian locals in general will just give you the shirt off their back.
100%,
Yes.
100%. We're learning every day. I think that now we may know 100 words. When we came here, we knew 5.
Right, right.
So last night we had a game night, and we had some Panamanian friends over, and our American friends started speaking Spanish because we were playing Uno, and we were
Saying the
speaking
colors.
our colors and our numbers
So
in
that's
Spanish.
4 colors in
And so,
Spanish
so now they are walking away
now.
knowing 4 colors or whatever the case may be.
Right. So before we wrap up, one thing that I did want to touch on from our previous videos, we had a few people comment that when we were talking about luxury living, well, if it costs that, I can just stay in the States. But what I don't think that people understand is what you get for your money here.
Yes.
How much more is structured. So even if you're paying $2,000 a month for rent in a place here compared to a place in the States,
Oh my
what
God.
the difference is. And
It's not the same $2,000.
although the prices are increasing here
Yes.
because of the demand, you're still getting way more.
Well, it's the cost of living, like living on the fringes, right?
Right.
A live-in maid here is going to cost you about $500 a month, which is what people are paying for someone to come to the house twice a week or twice a month, excuse me. You know, going to the supermarket, if I go to the Ray or the Super 99, my fruits and vegetables are a little more expensive. If I go to the farmer's market, I can get a full week's of fruits and vegetables for $10.
Listen,
I cooked a rotisserie chicken for my family last night. The whole meal, ingredients, everything was $8. It's on the fringes.
say less. Listen, we have, and we're not ashamed to say, I had a bout with pancreatitis. Many of you guys saw the video where we did the whole thing on my health. I'm much better. They still haven't figured out exactly what happened. However, we hired a private chef because what they did tell me is that it could have been from gallstones. It could have been from a myriad of things, food related and things like and that sort of stuff. So alcoholism, which I don't drink like that, so that wasn't the issue. But our chef told us, oh, they're not going to find out why.
It's your diet.
Because for you, sir, it's your diet. I can promise you that. And let me tell you, I'm gonna prove it because I'm gonna cook for you in a way that you're not gonna have those problems anymore. So I said that to say, in the United States, we never would have been able to afford the price point of a private chef that comes to the house,
That shops for
our food, brings it to the house, cooks it, and meal preps for us once a week for the whole week. Meals for the whole week. So again, it's not the amount of money you spend in terms of what you're renting. You know, $4,500 in a Santa Maria is a very different $4,500 in Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Right.
I promise you. So if that makes any sense.
Yeah, your housing is still going to be your largest expense, no matter where you live. In most countries you go to, your housing is going to be one of your largest expenses. So don't look at that as your whole budget, and that's based on what you want.
And that's your taste.
Because you could find a place for under $1,000 if that's what you want.
If that's how you want to live.
But if you want to live and have the more American standard living, have the same amenities, a lot of things that you're accustomed to, you are going to pay for that here. But you have to remember everything else is going to be less.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so your utilities are less, like you said, your groceries, everything else is going to be less. So it balances out where it's still, you're saving a lot more by living here.
Yeah.
And your quality of life is going to improve
and I
drastically.
think Matt touched on it. Like, to walk out your
Who
backyard.
has a toucan flying in their
Who has a
backyard?
flying in their backyard, y'all. That's quality of life.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love
Yeah,
it.
so-
Is that it for today?
That's it.
Listen, you can catch up with this guy in our real estate information session. We're going to spend some time and we're going to take, and I know the comments are going crazy, but what about this? And what about that? Bring those questions.
Make your list.
Make your list. Check it twice. Because Matt's going to make sure if you're naughty or nice. No.
He's going to
But
answer all
on
your questions.
October the 9th, if you are watching this video after October 9th,
You'll get a notification of the next session.
and we also encourage you to continue to sign up for the waiting list, because when we open up another one, you'll be definitely the first to know.
Yep.
Guys, that's it. I appreciate it, Matt. Thanks for showing us this beautiful property. And once again, shout out to my guys at Panama Talk for all of this beautiful setup. Also, Matt, I'm hoping that we get some hits on this property, brother. In this video.
You and me both.
You understand me? Listen, at the end of the day, here's what I can promise you. You cannot get to any place of significance by yourself.
yourself.
Because we all
Need
some help.
Y'all be good, and we'll catch you on the next episode of Behind Closed Doors with the Brooks Sisters
And Matt.
and Matt.